Open, contract, just like that. Everything with intent and purpose, good stretch, and then up. My name is Cris Edmonds. I am lead coach at mountaindogdiet.com, and I'm here at elitefts, and we're gonna discover 3 of my favorite chest building exercises. Number 1, all day long in my book, is gonna be a slight incline dumbbell press. So if you notice, a traditional incline press, it's probably more there, 45 degrees. I actually take a little bit lower, so I'm gonna kick that back down. And with this, what we're gonna think about doing is driving up, feeling a good stretch and contraction on our pecs with every single rep. And I'll grab some 50-pound dumbbells to just show you what an ideal rep should look like. All right, so we sit back. Now from here, I want to think about come down, good stretch, and then up. Down, up, just like that. Then from there, what I like to do is just simply pyramid up, doing sets of 6 to 8 till we get a top end load of around 8 to 12 reps. And then we're just gonna crush that weight each week, trying to go progressively higher with reps or weight. And then after that, you can either stay there and do 2 more preceding sets or do a back off. So let's say I worked up to the 150s today, drop down to the 100s, really sit in that stretch, let that chest open up, come up to a full contraction and make the pecs work absolutely to the backs of their ability. So we're chasing both progressive overload, but also pump with the back off. So this is how I would start every single chest workout if I was looking to grow it the most. All right, next up, exercise number 2. I'm gonna come over to an incline barbell press. So if you notice, I'm gonna take the incline up. So now we're at the traditional 45-degree angle. All I wanna think about here is now we're also gonna get a little bit of front delt. So that's not a big deal, guys. Power movement, do as much weight as we can. I want 6 to 8 reps, and I'll show you the technique I'm looking for because it's gonna be a shortened range of motion. All right, so I do piggy on the gnarling, unrack, and with this, I'm gonna come down 3 inches above my chest and pulse right here, and then drive up explosively. So we're here, and explode up. Even with no weight on this bar, I wanna think about as much force and power through. Could you bring it down and touch your chest? Absolutely. But then, in my opinion, and as John taught me for years on end, all that's gonna do is destroy my rotator cuff in the long run. So we wanna stay on the pec, and by doing that, again, 2 to 3 inches, pulse off of your chest, then drive up explosively with as much power as humanly possible. Just like we did with an incline dumbbell press, I wanna think about pyramiding up in weight, doing 6 to 8 reps, get to your top set, crush it there, and then you can either stay there and do 3 more or drop down to a back off. So if I'm gonna do a back off, let's say I worked up to 365 or 405 for a set of 6, strip a plate off, do as many reps as you can, and that's gonna completely burn your pecs up. And I promise, like, not only will you look thicker through your chest, but also your front delt. So this is a great way to simultaneously scratch 2 itches there of front delt and then upper pec. And third and final one, we need a fly variation to open everything up and stretch it out. So we're here on the pec deck. Can this be a high cable crossover? Could it be a dumbbell fly? Yes, but to me, while I'm here at Elite, this is the best pec deck I've ever used in my entire life. It is smooth, it destroys my chest every time I've used it, and this, when they asked me to shoot 3 favorite, I knew this was gonna be in here as the final piece. So with this, the biggest thing we wanna think about is keeping our posture, right? So many people in this pec deck, they wanna concave their chest and they round their front delts forward. So that's gonna take all the pressure off my chest. So when I unrack this here, you see how I'm lifted through the chest and then contract, open, contract, open, contract. And even, I just got done a 2.5 hour table talk, not pumped at all, and my chest already has blood in after 3 reps on that piece. So with this thing, I'll open the chest, expand it, stretch everything out that we've just contracted with the dumbbell and the barbell, and then come over here. I like a volume approach here. So 15, 12, 10, and if you wanna get even, take it to the next level, do 10 reps, lower the weight by 30%, and go to absolute failure. So you do those 3 exercises in that order, exactly how I described them, your chest will be bigger and better because of it. What we're gonna start with here is the rope. And the reason I'm choosing this is we could choose a multitude of attachments, if I'm being honest. We can use an easy bar, a straight bar, a strap, but everyone has one of these ropes. So let's put it to use. And not only is this gonna work the long head of my tricep, but also the lateral head as I push my hands down and apart. So let me show you exactly what that should look like. Here, elbows, you don't have to glue them to your rib cage, but just get them close and then down and out. Down and out, just like that. Everything with intent and purpose, good stretch, great contraction, just like that. Now, I like to start there with the cable push down to warm my elbows up. I will go as high as 25 reps to start, so 25, 20, 15, and then we're gonna look to do our first work set in the 10 to 12 rep range. So again, that's just warming the elbows up. We'll start to layer weight as we progress down in reps, the weight goes up, and we're just trying to get a massive pump in our tricep and get everything good and warmed up before we get into a power movement next, which will be a close grip bench press. As promised, close grip bench press. Now, we can do a multitude of ways. We can do it on a slight incline, we can do it on a high incline, we can do it on a slight decline. I like the flat the best, and what you'll find when I sit back with this weight is most people that hear close grip and they want to go close. That feels terrible for your shoulders. I need you to look at what naturally feels good to me. So if I take my arms, just let them dangle by their side, raise them up. That's about the grip width that I want. So not all the way in here, not out like a regular bench press, but somewhere in the middle. So right at shoulder width. Then for grip, you can either go thumbless or you can go hands are on the bar. That to me doesn't matter. Do whatever feels best to your wrist and it's the most comfortable. So let me sit back and show you. So as promised, shoulder width. That's natural for me. We're gonna bring it to my lower pecs. Here, again, pause, inch or two above the chest, up, press the, contract the tricep. Here, there, here, there. So the difference between that as opposed to say a bench press is I'm just thinking about sitting my elbows down on my rib cage, and that's just like a skull crusher, right? So if you think about skull crusher here, with closer bench press, it's just here stretch, press up, contract. So that's gonna be the chief difference as opposed to a bench press where here elbows are wide or maybe a little tucked. With this, I'm not intentionally trying to be here internally rotated really aggressively, but just let your elbows fall and then press up, squeeze the triceps. With sets and reps here, we can do a volume approach. With arms, that tends to be the best route for growth. So you do like a hard set of 12, then 10, then 8, or you can do a top set back off here where you say pyramid it up to a hard 8 to 12 reps and then did a back off where it's higher reps, so like that, like 15 to 20. So you get both modalities of growth. So heavy weight for stimulus and growth and then massive pump with the back off. All right, so with the incline dumbbell, what we want to think about is if you have access to matching kettlebells, we can definitely use those to replace those. But I know that most gyms aren't gonna have that. Like we, here at Elite, we have the wonderful matching monkey kettlebells. If not, just normal dumbbells work. Can you use an easy bar or a straight bar? You can, but I like the freedom that has the dumbbells allow for me to play with my wrist, right? So if I'm in an easy bar, I'm locked in. That tends to be a little tougher on the elbow. With the dumbbell, I can just literally sit them down on my front delt and then press up and contract. With this, it's all about stretch. So if you look at the progression of contraction base with the rope, then we're going power movement with the close to your bench press, and then finally finish with a stretching exercise. This is the keys to growing monster triceps. So I'll just sit back with the 35s. All right, so from here, all I wanna do is just let those dumbbells sit right back on my front delt and we press up, just like that, press up. Now, if you notice, I don't have these stacked directly over my chest because that's gonna deload the tricep. I wanna get a little pre-stretch on them, so I'm gonna start there, come down, full stretch, and then right up there, just like that. So as you can see, that is with 35s, right? So not crazy heavy as I'm showing the demo there. On a normal work set, 50, 55, 60s. At the end of a tricep day, you're talking about packing on mass to the tricep. This is a go-to exercise. If you aren't good at them because of stabilization, they will definitely take practice. And you can obviously use this on a flat or even a slight decline, but I tend to prefer the slight incline bench here to do these. So again, do these 3 exercises for triceps in that rotation order, and then pair them with biceps at either the beginning or the end after that, and your arms will look massive in your shirts.